Mr. Popescu.
Okay. I push the word of God with respect to the environment. Let me read you a few words out of the mouth of the wisest king that ever lived, Solomon. When the heaven is shut up, he's addressing God in public in front of all his political people and the general public too, on the day they dedicated the temple of God to worship the one who's to shed his blood to pay for all the earthly blessings of the environment that he's talking about here. When heaven is shut up and there is no rain because they have sinned against thee, if they pray toward this place, the place that symbolized God's sacrifice to come, and confess thy name and turn from their sins, when thou hast afflicted them, then hear thou in heaven. This little girl's prayer was very touching, who started things off tonight. And hear thou in heaven, and forgive the sin of thy servants. Sin linked to the environment, famine. And forgive the sin of thy servants and of thy people Israel, that thou teach them the good way wherein they should walk. That's the Ten Commandments. This is the wisest king on earth. You can't say religion doesn't have anything to do with the environment or politics. It's directly linked. And teach them the good way wherein they should walk, and give rain upon thy land, which thou hast given to thy people for an inheritance. And he continues on again along environmental lines. If there be in the land famine, if there be pestilence, blasting, mildew, locusts, or if there be caterpillar, if their enemy besiege them, and he goes on about military problems. And what prayer and supplication soever be made by any man or by all thy people, this is linked to individual sin and to general public sin.
15 seconds.
He implores God to hear prayers of repentance for environmental blessing. We need a Bible study program to solve this problem.
Thank you. Mr. Rodriguez.
Good evening, bonsoir, Ani. I am the mayor of Greater Sudbury, and over the last 4 years, I have led this council in making some significant, very significant positive changes, and I intend to continue those in the next 4 years. We are the largest geographic municipality in the province of Ontario, and we are blessed to have 330 freshwater lakes within our city. And so it is incumbent upon us to be good stewards of that water system. So my top 2 environmental priorities are: 1 is water quality and reducing the city's carbon footprint. Over the last 3 years, what we have done as a council is to initiate a municipal program of stormwater treatment for Ramsey Lake and Napoleon. And that is to reduce the silting that has taken place in both those lakes. Very significant. The biggest obstacle to overcome is the lack of public commitment. And despite our best efforts, there are detrimental practices continuing. And the solution is education, education, and making it socially unacceptable to cause negative impacts on waterways. Carbon footprint. One of the first things I did when I became mayor was I asked the fleet to move from those big hulking Crown Vics and move to hybrid vehicles. And they did. They put out a tender, and they bought 13 hybrid vehicles, Toyota Priuses, which they assigned to our bylaw officers who do a lot of driving. And they're tracking the economy of those vehicles. And we're continuing to add more hybrid vehicles. I bought a hybrid vehicle in 2007, and I want to tell you it is environmentally sound. And we're doing ongoing monitoring of our corporate energy use, making repairs to achieve efficiencies. And we have to encourage green initiatives. And the long term for our city is to build the city through infill. We have to infill the city so that, in fact, we can serve the city better with public transit.
Thank you. Mr. Young?
Thank you. Thank you, folks. Thank you so much for coming out this evening, and I do want to thank the Coalition for Livable Sudbury for their hard work that they have put into this town hall meeting tonight, and for the very educational process that not only did they put the mayor candidates through, but all candidates running for council and making them aware of the issues. I used the occasion of my 32nd birthday to run for the office of mayor, because I feel that the timing has come to build on the work that has been done by our mayor and our council, and to continue to build on that work and also look at a new vision for Greater Sudbury. Dr. David Pierce once said we must have an understanding of our history with a vision for the future. And it was in the last strike of 1979 that Valley Inco was not employing summer students. So Bill Lautenbach at the city at that time had the idea to hire those summer students to plant the tree seedlings. And that was the start of our regreening initiative, so we started to regreen our roasting beds. So now looking back, we've just won the longest strike in Inco history, and I think there's an opportunity to move forward and perhaps look at the next big idea as to what would happen. My relationship with the Coalition for Livable Sudbury first goes back to when I was the Arts Council president here in Sudbury, and had an opportunity to work with the Coalition, and was involved in some of the work that Naomi Grant was very involved in helping to protect the Roxborough Greenbelt. What I'm promoting for Sudbury is a 2020 vision, which is basically a 10-year action plan of the community's priorities through civic engagement. In 10 years from now, where do we see ourselves as a community? What kind of community do we want to live in? And we know that the environment is a big factor in that. And if you just look at the recent 100-year storm that flooded parts of the Donovan and the Flower Mill area, that's one good example of how we need to be proactive, and how Mother Nature can dish out some pretty nasty things to us. So we need to be prepared for that. Some of my environmental priorities would be protecting our green spaces and parks as identified in the official plan, to continue to promote mobility and sustainability through the use of bike paths, walking trails, and expanding on our transit system to not only ensure that transit is accessible through the Central Transit Terminal downtown, but also to maybe look at other alternatives such as express buses that can service those other Greater Sudbury communities.
15 seconds.
I'd like to advocate for a downtown recycling program, and continue to work with and empower the work that's being done by our Lake Stewardship committees. Dr. David Suzuki said environment and economy go together. The environment is a home, and the economy is the financial management of that home.
Thank you very much. The next question we're moving to is on green jobs. What we've done, you'll notice, is that we have someone introducing each topic so that the audience understands the definition of the items that we are speaking of, the topic we're speaking. Gordon?
Yeah, the topic, the first topic we're dealing with tonight is green jobs, green economy. I know that many people with local green energy companies, their job and the jobs they offers other people green jobs. Their story is a story of all green jobs, the opportunity to follow their convictions, to find meaningful employment right here in Sudbury. A green economy generates economic activity while doing the right thing for the environment. This includes clean energy, green building, green energy efficiency, and infrastructure and transportation, products and processes and services that reduce environmental impact and improve the natural resource use. The green economy is also an amazing opportunity to create jobs and keep and attract young people in our community. Greater Sudbury has everything to gain from realizing the potential of a green economy, a clean environment, good jobs, and a strong local economy.
This question, my name is Jonathan Tulloch, and I'm the owner of Green Energy Canada. And this question is for Mr. Young. Mr. Young, in your reply to how would you champion reliable funding and support for our growing green economy, you stated that we needed to look at the restructuring the Greater Sudbury Development Corporation to meet the needs of the green economy. How and why would you restructure the Greater Sudbury Development Corporation to meet this goal?
The Economic Development Corporation plays a very key role in our community as far as attracting new businesses and supporting existing businesses. So I would think that it's important that if we are going to be promoting green industries and attracting green jobs, that we have the strong relationships with our post-secondary institutions, in particular Cambridge College now through their sustainable energy programs. We've got some good things happening with Laurentian University and the Living with Lakes Center. We know the good work that's being done with Penguin Systems through their automation of robotic mining. We know the work that's being done by NORCAT, so I think part of it has to do with having the political will, being open for business, and ensuring that we have policies and bylaws and procedures that make it friendly to be able to do green business here and to have the financial incentives in place.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is for Mr. Rodriguez. In your reply, you stated that you are personally interested in seeing small-scale solar developments on city buildings, and that you would push for new or renovated municipal facilities to incorporate advanced energy-saving features. Please elaborate on some specific examples of how you see the city leading by example in the green economy in the next 4 years.
I think we have to lead by example. If we hope and we want the citizens of Greater Sudbury to be more aware of going green, then we here at City Hall must be examples of that. And it's because of that that we, through our hydro utility, cooperated with the United Church in Coniston to in fact establish a photovoltaic cell system on the roof of that church, and we are collecting data about the amount of energy that it is generating and how much is being returned to the grid. And we are open to putting that green technology on the roofs of our buildings. First, we have to make sure that they are structurally sound to accept that infrastructure, and so that's one of the things that we will ensure that our staff does. And when we build new buildings, they should be green. So when we're building at the second pad at Countryside Arena, the engineers are seized with the direction of council to make it as energy efficient as possible and to use green energy wherever possible, including solar energy for that building. I think that's the way we have to go.
Thank you. And to Mr. Callahan. In your reply, you stated that funding for growing the green economy is going to be difficult to fund and implement without private sector involvement in funding. Please give specific examples on how the city should involve the private sector and what other steps the city can take to facilitate private investment in the green economy.